Well, howdy meowdy, I am the Damn Cat Gaming, and this is GTRC's Hyundai Elantra Trophy Challenge. This was round 6 at Trail Mountain, a fictitious track based in the Rocky Mountains within the United States. I believe in the Colorado region of the country. It is beautiful, it is gorgeous, a lot of pleasant scenery, but the scenery is not why we are here. We are here for some fast racing action. But before we get into that, let's just do a brief reminder as to how this series goes. Alright, so this is the calendar. So this was projected at round 6, Trail Mountain. We will have 2 rounds remaining after this. The next will be at Blue Moon Speedway, and the finale will be at Grand Valley. Each round consists of 2 20-minute races. The first is preceded by a 2-lap qualifier. This is done in practice mode, so the qualifying settings will be the same as it is in the race. So the first race is preceded by a qualifier. We do the first race, and then for the second race, we will reverse the grid based on the results. So first place starts in last in first, and so on and so forth. And then for the tracks where we also reverse the direction. And for the series, I'm pretty sure every track can be reversed, so this is a thing every round. Fuel usage and tire wear is set to 1 extra tires, 3 extra fuel. What this translates to is every lap has 1 lap's worth of tire wear and 3 laps worth of fuel is used. We are restricted to only the racing mediums, so there's no need for pit changes or anything like that. And then the weather is set to random, so if weather rain is a possibility, then it is a factor to be considered. However, for Trail Mountain, rain is not a possibility in the game, and so therefore it is not something we have to take into consideration. Now, the point standings coming into this round, we have Maple Syrup, or Ishmael as he's also known as, is leading the way with a dominating 150 points. Superboy is in second with 129. He is just ahead of Hair Razor and Doug, who are tied for third at 120 points each. Our reserve driver Tap is in fifth at 105. Petrol is sixth at 90. The Damn Cat 7th at 89. Bars in 8th at 75. Type R 9th at 67. Mike is 10th at 64. UU has 27 points at 11th. Eagle 24 and 12th. And ATB, the last of our participants with points, bringing up the rear with 19 points. Alright, so we did our qualifying and Tap took pole, with Bar starting in second, Superboy starting in third, Petrol starts in fourth, Hair Razor in fifth, Doug in sixth, Type R in seventh, and the Damn Cat bringing up the rear in eighth. And here in a moment we will get this beautiful race footage on the screen. The lights are red, waiting on them to go green. And away we go, and we see one car, I believe that is Doug, going the wrong way right off the bat, almost backs into the Damn Cat, who thinks he reacted just well enough to avoid contact. And coming out turn 1, this is a chaotic set of corners, turns 1, 2, and 3. Let's see, we got some side-by-side action with Bar and Superboy, but they've negotiated cleanly, and looks like everyone survives turns 1 through 4. Coming into the first sharp right-hander here, Tap's still got the lead. Superboy has moved his way into second, Petrol in third, Bar has fallen all the way down to fourth, and he is currently battling with Razor. Doug has moved up into sixth already, and he's currently side by side with Hair Razor coming out of this sweeping left-hander into the long tunnel. We have Type R in 7th and the Damn Cat bringing up the rear. Already we see Tap pulling away from Superboy here in 2nd. Got a nice long tow chain going all along here, especially these three, Razor, Doug, and Type R, really close together coming into this next hairpin. Damn Cat's still bringing it so close by, he is still trucking along. Alright, here we go, back to the front. Got Tap still got the lead, Super still in 2nd. Alright, everyone's single file, just trying to negotiate this very technical course. Besides the 2 long straights, there's a bunch of technical bits and a bunch of technical turns in between. Tight, twisty corners. This hairpin can be tricky. Well, these sort of consecutive. Well, the first one's greater than 90, and then a 90 right after it in the opposite direction. I expect to see a lot of cars smacking into the wall coming out of the final corner. But we see everyone survive lap 1. So we have Tap still in the lead. Very tough to get this first little bit right. It's very easy to pick up a penalty there as well if you catch just a little too much. Razor and Doug side by side going at a little door-to-door banging going on as well. And something happened with Doug there. He's more or less came to a full stop, it seems like, but it caused him to go behind Type R. Not sure what went on there. Either way, he's going to be behind Type R going down the long tunnel, who has a half-second penalty. Does Doug push him, or does Doug try to slingshot around? Looks like Doug initially gave him a push and then decided he's just going to shoot around coming into the hairpin. Let's see, let's come back to the front, see if there's any spicy action going on up here at the moment. Petrol is right on the rear, staying glued to the rear bumper of Super, going through this tight sector. Wide. This track is wide all the way throughout. It's just your lines you end up finding taking are a lot narrower than the track suggests. For the time being, Superboy holds off Petrol. However, if get this bit wrong and Petrol gets a good run, he could probably slingshot through for the lead. But looks like instead he's going to be content to do just that. He gets the better exit, gets a little bit of tow across the line, and then into 2nd moves Petrol. Coming back to this backpack here, we have R being tailed by Hair Razor, who's used the slipstream to gain on the blue car bar. We have Doug not too far behind. We see the Damn Cat has gotten around Type R, who looks like he may have just lost positions to the penalty. And now Type R's got some ground to catch up. Alright, back to the front, we see Tap shading along, unchallenged so far, really, for the lead so far. Petrol's moved into 2nd place after he slingshot around Super in the home stretch. Now we're on the back straight. This is where Super can use his slipstream to re-engage and maybe get around, or at least catch back up to Petrol. These underpowered Elantras are struggling with this uphill, but everyone has that struggle. So it's not any one person, not really affecting just one person. It is affecting everyone. We see Hair Razor make a move up the inside on Bar as we come to him. They negotiate the hairpin side by side. Bar gets the better exit on the outside, and for the time being keeps Hair Razor behind him. However, he's got a few more corners to go. Got a long race to go. We're already about 6 minutes in. We see Hair Razor's looking to make a move on the outside, coming into this bit. or even maybe just swung out to get a bit of fresh air. That looks to be the case. He just wants some fresh air before trying to set up for this exit out of this corner. Looks like he's going to try the same maneuver Petro did on Supra a couple of laps ago. Just use a slipstream to catch up ahead. So if he is waiting a little longer to make the move, he actually may not be making a move. You can just stay in the tow. Ooh, big cut there from Barr. Might see him pick up a penalty there. If Barr goes wide, that should definitely lets Razor get on his bumper. And around the inside, very cleanly goes Hair Razor. Barr tried to respond, but just too little grip after that run in the grass. Alright, let's go through just the field real quick. We have Tap still unchallenged. We have Petrol not too far behind him. Then we have Superboy slowly losing touch to Petrol. It's in his interest to have him to finish as far up the grid as he possibly can so he can close up as much ground with the leader missing this round. Subaru's definitely going to want to want to pair good finishes today because he wants to climb at the top of the leaderboard if he can. Pair of wins will definitely do it. But right now he's got his work cut out for him. We see Hair Razor trying to keep Barr behind him, and Doug, we see Doug right here also closing in on him. See here, the damn cat is still ahead of Type R, but Type R is not losing touch with him. Mistake by the damn cat, and Type R reclaims that position they lost earlier. He's definitely not giving up, that's for sure. Alright, coming back to the front, see Tap still in the lead, still unchallenged. Petrol trying to close in on him. But at the moment, seems to be just standing pat. He's about a second and a half, 2 seconds back. That's about where the gap has stayed in the past couple of laps. Superboy is about 2.5 or 3 seconds behind Petrol at this point, slowly falling back. Hair Razor's managed to pull a small gap over Barr. Last time we checked on him. Barr may be more worried about Doug Barrow, who is right behind him. At the moment, these three are pretty evenly spaced out, so about a second and a half on either side of Barr is Razor and Doug. And then good way is probably 8 or 9 seconds at this stage. The damn cat is behind Doug, and Type R is a couple seconds behind damn cat. Alright, so we see Tap still unchallenged for the lead. He's having an easy day so far. Seems like at least a not so stressful day, not so stressful race at this point, as he just remains started in the front and is yet to be challenged for that position. Petro is looking to change that, but I don't think he's going to do it within any of these next couple of corners. Meanwhile, Supra is being gained on by Hair Razor and Barr. Both of these two are slowly gaining on the gray Elantra of Superboy. At this point, these 6 can still see the leader, which is an encouraging sign for these guys. That means if Tap makes a big enough mistake, any one of these top 6 could potentially gain a position out of it. Alright, so far, Tap and Petrol. Ooh, Petrol must have got the nasty cut there as he picked up a second penalty. Very easy to do during that opening sequence of corners. Turns 1, 2, and 3. Turn 1, I think it's turn 2. That is the most problematic in terms of penalties. Very easy to get it wrong and pick up a whole second penalty when you do. Alright, so these two are still going about their way. So little Petrol will have to serve a second penalty when he gets to the penalty zone, which is in a very bad spot. Kind of hard to get out of the way if someone's when you get to it, because it's racing line is all the way to the left against the wall, and you're really not going to want to choke up enough to keep to the right. But that's really what you should do here when you're serving a penalty. See if Petrol actually does it. If he's about to serve that penalty, and that's going to cause him to lose ground to tap. We are 12 minutes into this race already. This is a quick moving race. Alright, looks like Petrol. Yep, Petrol is off the racing line at least, so not all the way over, but don't need to be. You just need to be off the racing line, really. And that he did. And that 1 second penalty is going to enable Superboy to claim a lot of that ground he's been losing back. And what had been a 4-car train between Superboy and Doug is now a 5-car train led by Petrol. After having served his penalty, he is now within striking distance of Superboy again. We got Hellraiser not too far behind him, Bar not too far back. Doug's not too far back there. Devgat's kind of losing ground to Doug in front of him. Might be struggling with the track, who knows. Then we have Type R right behind him. Slowly gaining a backup on him. We have Tap now all by his lonesome. If he was worried about Petrol before, he definitely isn't now. Meanwhile, Petrol cut to the left, probably to try to minimize the slipstream behind for Superboy. And Super is still right there. Still easily challenged for second place. Petrol had a good gap before you had that penalty, but now small mistake and Superboy gets a free position, and maybe Hellraiser as well. Bar's not too far back, a big enough mistake for Petrol, and as we're saying about mistakes, it's Bar who makes one, gets in the grass. That'll let Doug catch back up to him. Meanwhile, this race for Tap at least has just been a nice, calm, easy Saturday afternoon drive. We have Petrol, who may be about to fall victim to the same tactic he used to get around Superboy. Not this lap. It might happen next lap if Super can keep close. And this track, if you overdrive it, is pretty bad on tire wear. You'll see a lot of wear on the front left in this direction. And we see Super is actually under attack by Hellraiser now. That's a gift for Petrol. Petrol wants these two to duke it out, so that'll let him regain that gap to Superboy. I don't think Super made a mistake. I think Hellraiser just got a great exit out of the tunnel, enabling him to really make a move here on Superboy. Looking to get on a podium is Hellraiser. They're currently side by side. With Hellraiser on the inside, that'll give him the advantage in the upcoming hairpin. Assuming he can make the exit work. It's going to force Superboy to defend well on the outside. The outside, if you run it right, can have a faster exit, but we see Superboy just tucks behind Hellraiser. And for the time being, Hellraiser has moved onto the podium. taking this bottom from Superboy. Just 4 minutes to go in this first race. So I guess this is going to be a battle for the podium. This is potentially a battle for the bottom spot of the podium the rest of the race. It's currently set up, and Barr and Doug are not out of it. They're still able to pounce. You see the damn cat and Type R still chugging along, still maintaining about a 1.5 to 2 second gap between each other. You know, though they're both kind of falling back from the rest of the pack, so this may turn into a battle for not last by the end of the race. Meanwhile, we have Tap, huge gap to Petrol in second. No, that might be a penalty there, Petrol. Looks like he gets away with it. Stewards are feeling nice and lenient today, it seems. At least for that corner. You know, Hellraiser is trying to solidify his position in third. He wants to prevent Superboy from getting a run on him. That Pressure Hellraiser wants to actually try to challenge for second. He can see Petrol, which means he can potentially catch him and maybe fight for that second place position. It's not too far behind. He looks to be gaining on him, so he definitely got the exit into the long tunnel. Depending on this hairpin, Hellraiser just might be able to get a good enough run to really close in on Petrol. Yep, closing in under braking. And I think it's a nice solid exit as well. Yeah, and Superboy is slowly losing touch. He's still close enough to be able to pounce on a mistake, but he's no longer really in a position to attack. You know, Barr's is here in fifth. He just needs to stay out of the grass. Did better that time. Doug here in sixth. He can, again, he's not really close enough to attack for fifth, but he is close enough to take advantage of a major mistake by Barr. I'd say sixth is the worst he can do unless he makes a big mistake, because he's got a nice gap over the damn cat and Type R and bringing up the rear. It'll take a pretty big mistake to bring these two into the picture again. He went back in first, long way back to anyone behind him is Tap. Petrol's still here in second. Looks like Super may have got the better first set of corners, because he is really closed up on Hellraiser. And we just watched Petrol get into the grass at the top, coming out of the tunnel, which has enabled Hellraiser to get up his rear bumper. This is now a three-way battle for second place. And we're coming. This is probably going to be the final lap of the first race of two today. And we see Hellraiser moving to the inside. Petrol closed that off. That might actually been a bit of blocking there by Petrol. And it was definitely contact. It definitely put Hellraiser into the wall. But for the time being, Petrol holds on to second place. Superboy taking a wide line through the hairpin, trying to get that faster exit, which is something you can do if you pull that wide line right. Now we have Hellraiser right on the rear bumper of Petrol. And this is indeed the final lap. And this is where all the action is at the moment. Coming again to the final two corners, we see Hellraiser again making a move to the inside. Petrol giving the bare minimum amount of space. Hellraiser wanted to go wide and try to set up for that corner. A little bit of argy-bargy there between him and Superboy. And it looks like we see Tap takes the win for race one. Looks like Petrol's going to be second. Hellraiser third. Superboy fourth. Barr fifth. Doug sixth. Damn Cat is going to finish seventh. And Type R finishes in 8th. Alright, that was a good first race. I got a little spicy there at the end, but all in all, it was a good race for everyone. We see the fastest lap times all very close together. See, Tap took pole for race 1. He wins race 1, and he gets the fastest lap for race 1. So far, this is setting up to be potentially another clean sweep by Tap. He's done it before, where he finished first in both races and took fastest lap. And he's halfway there to doing it this round. Bear with me while I get the second race up and running and ready to go. All right. We are ready to watch the launch of the second race. The lights are red, red on the green. And away we go. We have Type R up in first, the Damn Cat in second, Doug in third, Bar in fourth, Superboy starting in fifth, Pedro in sixth. Tap has already moved into seventh from last place. And we see already the Damn Cat is under siege. He's dropped all the way down to fourth place already, just coming through turn one. Very bad line through the first two corners, but kind of had no room to go there. See, Doug's already moved into the lead. Type R is down to second. Petrol is already up to third. Bar is up to fourth. So far, not a whole lot going on here, but all clean racing so far, as everyone tries to sort out where they're going to be in this train of cars. See Superboy trying to fend off Tap. Coming into the long tunnel, we have Doug in the lead. Petrol is in second. He's side by side with Type R. We have Bar in fourth, the Damn Cat in fifth. It's going to be a tight squeeze here. How is this going to play out? Coming into a sweeping right-hander. See the Damn Cat maybe falling victim to Superboy, who's trying to go around on the outside. We heard some squealing up here. We're seeing Doug trying to run away already. Tap's already moved up to fourth. Tap is in fifth. We have the Damn Cat behind him in sixth. Superboy moves around on the inside. And a very chaotic first lap place for one driver. Fell all the way from second to last over the course of one lap. Meanwhile, we have Doug. Got away cleanly from all that chaos. Petrol's in second. Bar's moved his way up to third. He's got Tap right behind him. Tap was able to get all the way up to fourth of the course of the first lap. Superboy's here in fifth. Type R's got side by side with Hair Razor, who has moved his way up into sixth. Put him on the outside, coming into this kind of tight right-hander. Damn Cat's looking to make a move up the inside. Superboy closes it, but Type R, wow, wrong S. Type R closes the door, and I think the Damn Cat slammed into the wall there, just trying to avoid contact. All right, we have Doug coming in, still holding onto the lead. He's got Petrol behind him in second. We have Bar and Tap in third and fourth. Bar and the not so fortunate outside line. He pulls in behind Tap, who's now moved into the podium. Superboy's here in fifth. He's got Hair Razor in sixth right behind him. Type R in seventh. And the Damn Cat bringing up the rear in eighth. So far, everyone close together. All right, Doug's got about a 3-second gap to Petrol. He's got about a second and a half to Tap. Bar's about a half second behind. Super's close back by. as his hair razor. Then trying to make a move up the inside of Type R here. Type R gets the better exit. Damcat's gonna have to try again. So Doug got a nice line through the final sector. Just as unforgiving in this direction as it is going in the reverse. Petrol's in second, Tap is in third, Bar's in fourth, Superboy in fifth, Hair Razor in sixth. Type R still holding on to seventh place, and the Damcat still breaking up the rear. Alright, we have Doug is still in the lead, Petrol still in second, Tap is right behind him in third. This man's on a mission, he wants to get to the front, he wants to win both of the races, he wants both of the fastest laps. At the moment, Petrol has the fastest lap, the 203.9. Spar's in fourth. He's got Superboy right behind him in fifth. Ray Razor's got a little gap between him and Ray Razor. Then we have Type R trying to keep the Damcat behind him. How long can he keep this potentially over-aggressive driver behind him? This is one thing about the Damcat, he can be very aggressive, and it bites him in the butt more times than not when he is. Back to the front, we have Doug Barrow. The lead. Tap has gotten around Petrol, probably made the move on the hairpin, and just made use of a better exit. And into second place goes that light blue car of Tap, with Petrol behind, Bar still in fourth. Still trying to have a good race, still trying to have a good finish. He's got Superboy right behind him in fifth. There's a gap between Razor in sixth. Type R's here in seventh. He's still fending off the white car of the Damcat. Coming back to Doug. Got a nice little gap, but he's got a Tap. Charging up the field now. Now he does Tap has already got a huge gap to Petrol behind him. And we see Superboy making a run around, trying to make a run around Bar for fourth place. But at the moment, Bar is got the inside line. It's not necessarily ideal for this set of corners, but he has a 1 second penalty, which tells me he cut the bejesus out of the last sector. Easy to do. Hair Razor's in sixth. We have the Damcat has gotten around Type R in seventh, and Type R is now breaking up the rear. Ooh, and he goes very wide there. That's a very slow exit. It's not ideal at all. Doug here, and so at the moment it's a seemingly comfortable lead, but this is Tap, who has currently now the fastest lap of a 202.4, and he is purple coming into the tunnel. The gap to Tap and Doug is rapidly diminishing, but for some people might have been a comfortable lead. That's hard to get. That lead is no longer comfortable. Petrol is in third. Superboy is taking advantage of Bar's penalty, who's falling back to fifth. That penalty is actually probably going to allow Hair Razor to gain on Bar. We have the Damcat in seventh, and Type R still in eighth, but not out of it yet. For the time being, Doug has still got the lead, but he has Tap charging up to him. At the beginning of the lap, that might have been considered a comfortable lead of about 7 or 8 seconds. That's what it seemed to be, but it's closed tremendously now. And coming onto the final straight, the home straight, that gap is probably down to under a second now between Doug and Tap. And Tap has reinforced his fastest lap now with a 2-minute 2-second.2. Petrol still in third, Super still in fourth, Bar is still in fifth, Hair Razor in sixth, the Damcat in seventh, and Type R got a better exit that time in eighth. Chugging along, still going. Alright, we have Doug, who's now under immediate threat from Tap. How long can Doug keep this 34 car behind him? We're about to find out. Because Tap is basically on his rear bumper now. Doug has got to nail this exit. And it looks like Tap just carried a lot more speed through there and got the better exit, so don't expect to see a nudge from Tap here. I kind of expected him to pull out like he's done here, take advantage of the fact that he got the better exit, and he's just going to try to out drag the 13 of Doug Barrow down this back straight. Take it inside line. Doug, he's going to try to do an over-under here and try to fight back, but almost was able to get back to the inside of him. Didn't quite work. Tap for the moment just got to defend, taking much tighter lines than Doug. Which should enable Doug to actually keep up with him. Looks like Tap might have got a better exit out of that tunnel, and that is going to be all he needs to run away. Now Doug has got to do everything he can to charge back to the front, to keep up with Tap. He's got to keep up in the slipstream and try to take advantage of whatever weakness Tap may have. While trying not to lose too much time in areas that he is focused at. We already see Tap has got a little bit of a gap already coming out of the first two corners. Petrol's at third. He has got a 1 second penalty. Depending on how close Super is, I don't think it's going to be enough for Super to actually be able to take advantage of that mistake, of that penalty. Super, I don't know. Petrol might be enough. It's definitely going to be a drag race at the end of the straight between Petrol and Superboy. We see Petrol swung to the right, served his penalty, and around goes Superboy. I was wrong. Superboy definitely had the speed to. That was definitely close enough to take advantage of that penalty. Onto the podium goes Super. Petrol's in fourth. He is not going to just sit back and let Superboy run away. So expect to see him rejoin and reclose back in and make this a battle. He's got 8 minutes to reclaim that podium position. Bar in fifth. Airways are slowly closing in on him. So this might be a battle for fifth here in a lap or two. We got the Demke here in seventh. He's not out of touch yet, but he's not really gaining on Airways in front of him either, so. We see something's happening to Type R because he is now way back. But he's still going forward. He's still giving it what he's got. He hasn't given up yet. It doesn't look like he's still going forward. That's what we want to see. Meanwhile, back in the front, we have Tap. It's got Doug not too far behind him, but it looks like every time they get into these two corners, bad exit from Tap, but even worse exit from Doug. That's going to let Tap run away a little bit more. Let him increase that gap. And actually, that might let Superboy gain on Doug a little bit. But Superboy's got Petrol to worry about. And Bar's got to worry about Hair Razor behind him. Like I said, this is going to be a battle here in the next two laps on my wager. Sooner if Bar keeps doing that. He keeps sliding under the grass and into the wall. This will be a battle within a lap or not even a lap. To the damn guy here. So I think he's trying to close in on Ray Razor, but don't know if he's got the pace to do it here. Alright, back to the front. We have Tap here in second. Oh, first, I'm sorry. Wow, Doug's in second. What am I thinking? That's a misspeak. If I ever had one. Tap's got the lead. And he's pulling away from Doug in second. Superboy is in third. And something happened to Petrol because there's a bigger gap than there was earlier between these two. And Bar is, as predicted, under threat from Hellraiser now. Hellraiser's kind of been chilling all race, but he's got someone to battle. It's probably gonna be the next time the battle really would be on between these two. We've got the damn cat here in seventh, just chugging along, try to keep the guy going the right way. That's better than some weeks he's been doing. Then Type R bringing up the rear. Seems to really be struggling with this direction. But he's still giving it well he's got. He's still going forward. Just what we want to see. Tap has got the lead. Doug is in second and slowly dropping back. Supra is in third. Not quite gaining, but not really losing touch to Doug. Petrol's in fourth. Seems to actually be losing touch a little bit at the moment. Ooh. Understeer kind of got the better of Petrol there. Yeah, Bar here in fifth. Hellraiser in sixth. Bar actually holding a small gap over Hellraiser. Coming up to sector 1. Again, Hellraiser get the better exit and negate that loss. That is the question. I think these two are the closest to each other on track at the moment. With 4 minutes to go, everyone's kind of spread out. So you got Tap about 4 or 5 seconds back to Doug, who's got about 3 or 4 seconds to Supra, who's got about 3 or 4 seconds to Petrol, who's got about 5 seconds to Bar, who's got a half second of Hellraiser. And then you have the damn cat kind of far back from there, and Type R even further back. So right now Tap is definitely set up for the clean sweep. Pole, first, and fastest lap. And right now he holds the fastest lap for race 2, and he currently holds the lead. And he's got just over 3 minutes to go to hold on to it. 2 more laps. We see Doug with a half-second penalty. It's actually harder to pick up a half-second penalty here than a whole second. I don't know how he did just a half-second. Because usually wherever you can't pick up a penalty, it's usually you're picking up a whole second because you're cutting the 2 parts that would normally just be a half-second, but you're picking up at the same time, so it turns into a whole second. Meanwhile, Petrol's still here in 4th. We have Bar here in 5th. Hellraiser looking to make a move on the outside. Bar closed that line off to him. And these two are now side by side. Almost argy-bargy. Bar gets a slightly better line through here. Hellraiser's going to try. Looks like he's going for that over-under. Coming into the tunnel. Bar's going to try to squeeze him up against that wall. And side by side they go down the tunnel. It looks like Hellraiser at the moment has the edge in this drag race. The Bar has potentially the better line going into the sweeping right-hander, and smack they go. However, Hellraiser still comes out ahead. They're still side by side though, coming into this sharp left-hander. So Hellraiser may have gotten a better exit, but this puts him on the outside in this tunnel. Not exactly where you want to be, and you definitely don't want to be side by side going into the final 3 corners here, but at the moment, Hellraiser's got the edge. After that series of corners, Hair Razor has gained himself a position 5th place to Hair Razor, but it's not over and done. Coming on to the final lap, these two are still side by side. Bar had kind of won the drag race down the home stretch. Doosh, they go into each other pretty hard there. Nice, almost T-bone the line that Bar took relative to Hair Razor. And so at the moment, the Bar has a position. Damcat's not too far back. Neither, and Tight Bar hasn't given up quite yet. Alright, we have Tap here in the lead. We have Doug now under threat from Superboy. Super's got a shot at 2nd place here. He's just got to get around Doug Barrow. See, Super technically I think gets the better run through the tunnel, but Doug's got the better line. Coming into the final sector. Super, I think, is just going to try to set up to just try to where he can out-drag Doug on the home stretch. We see Tap is already... nope. Now Tap has gone to the home stretch. Let's watch him cross the line. Then we'll come back to this battle between Doug and Supra. Super Tap has the win. Looks like Doug was able to keep just enough space to retain 2nd place. Petrol finishes in 4th. Bar and Hair Razor battling, duking it out still. This is for 5th and 6th. Bar in the end has the edge. See the damn cat chugging along. Finishing in 7th. And Type R. Can't forget about this guy. He's still pushing. He's still going forward. He's still giving it what he's got. I think he just struggled mightily with this direction today. Race 2 was not his race today. But he didn't give up. Kept at it. And in the end, crosses the line with 8th place points. Right, so as we can see, Tap takes the win and fastest lap. Doug finishes in 2nd, Super in 3rd, Metro in 4th, Bar in 5th, the Hair Razor in 6th, the Damcat in 7th, and Type R bringing up the rear in race 2. That should be a good points haul for Superboy. Maybe it'll be enough for him to claim the lead. With Ishmael missing this round, it is definitely a possibility. Ooh. This was a fun race. Definitely enjoyed it. Hope you did too. On both my channel as well as the GTRC YouTube channel. Appreciate the likes, the shares, the follows. Helps the respective channels grow. And helps us bring you more content like this. But I am the Damn Kid signing off. Here in this coming week, we'll have the finale for GT3 series. And then we have I think that actually there's going to be a break. Then we will have the final 2 rounds over the next couple of weeks for the Elantra Challenge. It's spicy. The points are pretty close in the top and the middle portions of the field. Points are all very close. But yeah, we'll see where it goes. And we'll see you next time. Take care.